Have you ever felt like certain moments in your life were connected by an invisible thread? As if something greater was stitching events together, aligning meetings, decisions, even setbacks, all at the exact right time. That's not an illusion. And it's definitely not just coincidence. It has a name, synchronicity. And understanding what's behind these moments can mean the difference between living with clarity or staying stuck in a cycle where nothing seems to make sense. The universe is always trying to guide you, but the question is, are you listening? Most people have no idea that there are spiritual laws silently operating behind the scenes of reality. You won't find them in school textbooks or casual conversations, but they're behind every sign from the universe you've ever received and maybe ignored. A repeated number, a strange dream, a chance encounter. All of these are part of a coded language, and those who learn to decode it unlock a clarity that changes not just the way they think, but the way they live, with presence, intention, and purpose. What you're about to discover isn't some pretty theory to file away and forget. It's a calling, a direct, practical, spiritual, and urgent guide. Because every second you live without understanding synchronicity is a second lost in your potential to awaken. So if you've been feeling like something bigger is trying to show you a new path, stay with me until the end. Because once you apply what you're about to learn in this video, your life will never be the same again. And that's not a bold promise, it's an accurate prediction. Some people go through life thinking everything that happens around them is just coincidence. But what they don't realize is that the universe is speaking, and it's speaking all the time. It just doesn't use words. It communicates through synchronicities, those moments that seem random but carry deep meaning. Like when you think about someone and they suddenly message you, or when you have a question and the answer shows up in a line from a book, a billboard, or a random conversation. That's not chance. That's a hidden language responding to what you're vibrating right now. Most people live on autopilot. They don't realize that the events of their daily lives are being shaped by something beyond logic, the frequency they themselves are emitting. Every thought, every emotion carries energy, and that energy is like a signal the universe picks up, and guess what? It responds. Not with what you want to hear, but with what you need to grow. It's like an invisible reflection of your inner vibration. The problem? Almost no one has been taught how to read these signs from the universe. And you know what the danger is? Living your whole life thinking you're in control, when really, you're being driven by a force you don't understand. You believe you're making conscious choices, but in truth, you're just reacting to an internal program that keeps attracting the same types of experiences. Repetitive, frustrating, limiting. The key is to move from reactivity to awareness, to start listening instead of just reacting. For example, instead of complaining about a problem, ask yourself, what is this trying to show me? That simple shift in perspective opens a new door, and it's in that moment that synchronicities begin to intensify. But there's still something much bigger waiting to be revealed. There are 3 spiritual laws that, when activated together, can literally push reality to align with what you're ready to experience. The first is the law of vibration. Everything vibrates. Your thoughts, your emotions, your desires. And this vibration acts like a secret code the universe understands. When you're operating at a high frequency, rooted in gratitude, presence, and clear intention, you send out a strong signal, one that magnetizes events that seem magical, but are really just spiritual math in action. The second is the law of conscious attraction. This isn't just about vision boards or positive thinking. It works when you become someone who vibrates the reality you desire, even before it exists in the physical world. It's like tuning into a radio station. You don't create the music, you align with it. When you wear this new identity, the universe responds with synchronicities. People appearing out of nowhere, opportunities falling into your lap, answers you didn't even know you were seeking. It's in this frequency that the invisible starts to become visible. The third, and perhaps the deepest, is the law of the soul's calling. This law says your soul is always trying to guide you through intuition, dreams, chills down your spine, and most of all, synchronicities. When you start paying attention to that calling, the world around you shifts. It's as if the doors that were locked suddenly begin to open effortlessly. A simple example, you're in a life transition, feeling lost. Then out of nowhere, you stumble across a talk, a book, or a conversation that speaks directly to what you're going through. Coincidence? Or a direct response from these hidden laws that only reveal themselves to those who are truly ready? But there's one very common mistake that can block all of this. The truth is harsh, but it needs to be said. Most people are blocking the universe's signs without even realizing it. And it's not out of laziness or bad intentions, it's out of habit. Over-rationalization is one of the biggest enemies of synchronicity. The mind has been trained to explain everything, control everything, justify everything with logic. And you know what happens? It shuts the door to the invisible. Synchronicity knocks, but it finds no space to enter. The person thinks, oh, that's just a coincidence, and just like that, the message is lost. Another fatal mistake: attachment to control. When you try to force life to follow your script, you suffocate the magic. The universe doesn't work under pressure, it responds to surrender. Here's a practical example. Have you noticed that the most important moments in your life, the ones that truly changed everything, usually happened when you least expected them? A meeting, a message, a twist of fate. When you let go of control, you invite synchronicity to do its work. But if you insist on managing everything, you become the biggest obstacle to your own evolution. And finally, there's disbelief, the most dangerous block of all. Because sometimes people want to believe, but there's a voice inside whispering, "This is nonsense." And that tiny seed of doubt, it's enough to cut the signal. The universe needs at least a sliver of openness to respond. It's like spiritual Wi-Fi. If the signal is weak, the connection drops. So what's the first step to restoring the signal? Re-educate your perception. Start observing with curiosity. Write down coincidences. Notice patterns. Pay attention to recurring words, encounters, emotions. And if you're truly ready to open that channel, there's a simple ritual that can change everything. Imagine starting your day as if you were tuning an internal antenna to pick up signals from the universe. It's possible, and much simpler than it seems. One of the most powerful rituals is morning intuitive writing. Right after you wake up, before checking your phone, sit down with a pen and paper and write whatever comes to mind. No filter, no judgment. It could be a random sentence, an image, a feeling. This practice clears mental noise and creates space for intuition. It's like opening a window through which the universe's signals can enter more clearly. Another practice that completely shifts your vibration is the vibrational alignment meditation. It doesn't have to be long. 5 to 10 minutes is enough. Close your eyes, take a deep breath, and visualize a golden light entering through the top of your head and flowing down your body, aligning your thoughts, emotions, and intentions. It might sound simple, but this visualization raises your frequency and tunes your mind to perceive synchronicities more clearly. It's like adjusting the focus on a camera before taking a picture. The scene doesn't change, but the sharpness changes everything. And to complete the ritual, start recording unusual events throughout your day. Keep a notebook, or even a note on your phone, called Signs from the Universe. Write down everything, repeating numbers, recurring phrases, unexpected encounters, strange dreams. The magic lies in observing the pattern. For example, If you dream about water 3 nights in a row and then come across a quote about diving into something new, maybe it's not just coincidence. This daily ritual creates a synchronistic field around you, a space where reality begins to respond to you more frequently. And when that happens, something shifts forever. Once you begin applying these rituals, life takes on a different tone. What once went unnoticed now shines like a luminous sign along your path. You start to realize that synchronicities not only intensify, but gain a whole new depth. A number that keeps showing up isn't just a sequence, it's a reminder, a code, a song playing at just the right moment, a direct message, a casual encounter. Maybe it's the nudge you needed to shift directions. Once you enter this flow, autopilot living is no longer an option. This is the point where everything begins to align. The conversations you have feel scripted by something greater. Ideas arrive in perfect timing. Answers appear before the question is even formed. Reality starts to conspire in your favor, and it's no longer about controlling what happens, but about understanding what's happening with spiritual clarity. Your perception shifts, and with it, the way you move through the world. You stop seeing life as a series of random events and begin to sense a hidden intelligence guiding you. It's like the universe starts giving you spoilers for your own future. And here's the most fascinating part. When you reach this level of spiritual sensitivity, you awaken something even more powerful, the ability to manifest with conscious intention. It's not magic, it's alignment. When you live in tune with the universe's signs and consistently follow spiritual laws, everything around you begins to rearrange. The right people show up. The right paths open, obstacles lose their grip. And then the inevitable question arises, if reality is constantly showing you signs, what is it trying to tell you right now? Now that you've discovered how synchronicities work and understood the spiritual laws behind every sign the universe sends, the choice is in your hands. Will you keep ignoring those signs and living on autopilot? Or will you take what you've learned here and start creating a new reality, one that's more aligned, lighter, and more connected to who you really are? Because knowing isn't enough. You have to do. You have to apply it, even if it's one small step at a time. The universe is already ready to guide you. The question is, are you ready to listen? And tell me, what's the most powerful synchronicity you've ever experienced? That moment that made you stop and think, this can't be just a coincidence. Share your story in the comments. I want to read it, because your story might inspire someone else too. And if this video stirred something in you, if it awakened that urge to go even deeper into this invisible and powerful field that shapes life, then do this. Subscribe to the channel, hit the notification bell, and make sure you don't miss what's coming next, because we're just getting started. And there's still so much to reveal about the hidden codes of reality. You've already felt the calling. You've seen there's something greater moving behind the veil. Now is the time to act. Because those who understand the signs never walk alone again.